This video tutorial will guide you through the frame inventory setup with My Vision Express 2014. Once set up, the frame inventory listing will allow you to quickly fill orders, keep track of your inventory counts, view reports for frames sold and ordered, and create purchase orders to facilitate inventory replenishment. Let's begin by defining the correct tax rates to be used for frames on orders. My Vision Express allows you to define a general tax rate that applies to all the inventory records or for items individually. You can also define a different tax rate for prescription and non-prescription frames. Note that tax rates can be defined by navigating to File, Setup, Tax. General tax can be defined by navigating to File, Setup, Company Information. Underneath Company Information, you will then click on the Location Settings tab. The sunglass tax rate option will apply to all frames ordered with no lenses included in the order. The RX frame tax rate option will apply to all frames ordered with lenses included in the order. Individual tax rates can be defined for specific records from File, Inventory, Frames. Select the desired record and click on the Modify button. Enter the desired tax rate as Tax 1 or Tax 2 from the Location Details grid. The frame's inventory listing can be accessed by navigating to File, Inventory, Frames. The inventory listing can be populated using a CSV file, Frames Data Specs UPC, either disk or web interface, or by manually entering a record. A CSV file can be imported into the frame inventory listing using the Import button. The fields in the CSV file must be named and ordered as specified in the informational pop-up that appears when you click on the Import button. A frame record can be manually entered or modified by navigating to File, Inventory, Frames. Click on the Add button and enter the desired information for the frame. Commission can be defined for a specific record from the Modify window in the frame's inventory. The Inventory checkbox is used to keep track of stock items. Sold items will be deducted from the on-hand quantity if the box is unchecked. The Source field will dictate the default source of the item on orders. The source selected on the order will take priority over the inventory flag defined on the item. If order is selected, the item is ordered, the on-hand quantity is not affected. If inventory is selected, the item is being sold from available stock, the on-hand quantity is decreased. If supply is selected, the item is lab supplied, and the on-hand quantity again is not affected. A trace file can be added using the trace field. It will automatically transfer over to orders. The reorder point and max inventory feature can be used to identify when an item should be reordered. The reorder point is used to identify the desired minimum stock on hand for an item as well as trigger the quantity to order. The max inventory is used to limit the quantity to order once the reorder point has been reached. The frame's reorder report can be used to view items to be ordered. You can reach this report by navigating to File, Reports, Inventory, reorder, frames. You can duplicate an existing item by selecting the desired item in the inventory and clicking on the Duplicate button. Pricing can be defined for items on an individual basis, bulk pricing from a markup formula, or bulk pricing from the inventory listing using the Details button. Individual item pricing is achieved by selecting an item from the frame inventory listing and updating the retail price. Note that updating the group cost can also refresh the retail price if updated based on a frame markup formula if it's available. A frame markup formula can be used to automatically update the retail price of frames based on the group cost. Navigate to File, Setup, Frame Markup. The frame markup is defined by collection. Note, collection is optional. If no collection is specified, then the frame markup formula will apply to all records. The markup can then be based on a multiplier, fixed amount, ends with amount, or next multiple of 10 for rounding purposes. The Details button, available from the Frames Inventory window, allows you to update certain details for a specific item or group of items. To select a group of items, hold down the Control key on your keyboard and left mouse click the items you wish to update, then click the Details button. You will then be able to update such details as cost, group cost, default retail price, manufacturer, collection, etc. Certain restrictions can also be applied to specific frame records. Valid lens styles can be defined for frame records by clicking on the Modify button from within the Frames Inventory window. If a valid lens style is defined on the right-hand side of the Modify window, the system will notify the user if an incorrect lens is selected on an order based on the lens styles selected. A lens range can also be defined for a specific frame. If the prescription does not fall within the lens range defined on the frame, the system will again notify the user. Frame barcode labels can be printed from the inventory listing or from the Frame Barcode Labels feature. To print labels from the frame inventory listing, go to File, Inventory, Frames. To select multiple records, hold down the Control key on your keyboard and left-click the desired records. Then click the Labels button. To print barcode labels from the Frame Barcode Labels feature, navigate to File, Inventory, Frame Barcode Labels. Select the desired manufacturer and collection and then click on the Search button. Note that clicking on any record in the list will automatically enter 1 in the Labels column. The quantity entered in the Labels column can be modified to print more than one label for the record if desired. Click on the Apply button when ready. With multiple locations, MyVision Express allows you to keep a synchronized inventory listing across all available locations, as well as individual inventory listing by location if desired. Keeping a synchronized inventory listing across all locations can be achieved by navigating to File, Setup, Company Information, and then clicking on the System Settings tab. If enabled, the Add Inventory to All Locations checkbox will automatically add new inventory records to all available locations in MyVision Express. If disabled, inventory records will have to be manually added to each location. If an individual listing is desired for each location, items can be added by navigating to File, Inventory, Frames. After confirming the Add Inventory to All Locations feature is disabled under Company Information, you can then manually add new records from the inventory listing. The Restore Deleted button can be used to view and activate inventory records available at the other locations. The Transfer button, available in the Location Details grid of the Add Modify Frame Inventory window, can be used to transfer a specific record with a quantity to another location available within MyVision Express. This method should be used if an actual frame is sent to the other location. The quantity to be transferred is entered in the Amount field, and then click the OK button when done. Existing inventory records can be synchronized between locations by navigating to File, Setup, Company Information. From the Company tab, select the location you would like to synchronize the inventory to and click the desired button, either Frames, Contacts, Spectacle, or other /services to transfer all available items from the other locations to the location selected. Suppliers can be set up in the system for use with purchase orders. The supplier setup is available from File, Setup, Supplier/Lab. Click on the Add button and enter the supplier's information. Mark the checkbox labeled Frames and then save the record. Click on the Inventory tab and select the available manufacturers for the supplier from the Frame Inventory section. Updating the stock counts can be achieved from different modules. It is highly recommended to synchronize the inventory counts prior to making adjustments to the stock quantities. This is achieved from Tools, Maintenance, Synchronize Inventory Counts. To modify the inventory count by using the Add Modify Inventory window, click on File, Inventory, Frames. Open the desired record by using the Modify button and click on the Transactions tab on the bottom of the screen. Click the Add button and then enter the desired details and click OK. Note that a negative quantity should be entered to decrease the inventory count. To update the stock count using the Inventory Transactions feature, navigate to File, Inventory, Transactions, Inventory Transactions. Select Frame as the frame type, select the transaction type, and enter a note if desired. The Scan tab can be used with a barcode scanner if labels are available. Scan the available barcodes and then click on the Update on Hand button. The Manual tab can be used without a barcode scanner. Select Frame as the item type. Use the available filters if desired, and select a transaction type. Use the Counted column to update the desired records. Click on the Update on Hand button when finished. To update the frame inventory count using the Receiving feature, navigate to File, Inventory, Transactions, Receiving. Enter the desired information for the transaction using the available fields. The items can be scanned with a barcode scanner. If a scanner is not available, you can click on the Frames button to select specific records. The Received column is used to update the quantity. Click on the Update on Hand button when finished. The Returns module follows the same method as the Receiving module. To access the Returns module, go to File, Inventory, Transactions, Returns. Then scan or select the desired items to indicate items returned to a supplier. When finished, click the Update on Hand button. The Physical Counts feature can be used when running an existing inventory count. To access the Physical Counts feature, navigate to File, Inventory, Physical Counts. Again, it is highly recommended that you synchronize inventory counts prior to continuing when prompted to ensure accuracy. To update the records using the Scan tab, specify the frame as the item type. Scan the barcodes using a barcode scanner to update the records, and then click on the Update on Hand button when finished. To update the records using the Manual tab, click the Manual tab, select the frame as the item type, use the available filters if desired, and then use the Counted column to update the records. Click the Update on Hand button when finished. Now that the frame inventory is configured, we can easily create orders for the frames added. A frame can manually be added to an order by populating the detail drop-downs such as Manufacturer, Collection, and Name. The drop-downs will display available inventory records. You can also click on the ellipsis button available on the right-hand side of the UPC field to view the complete inventory listing. The frame source field can be used to identify who is supplying the frame. If the source is set to order, a supplier can be selected to create a purchase order for the item. Any frame source other than inventory will not affect your inventory counts. A trace file can be included with the order when submitting the order to a lab. If already applied on an inventory item, it will automatically transfer to the order. Any lens style or lens range restriction will notify the user based on the lens selection of the order via a pop-up message. The purchase order feature of the inventory module allows you to create purchase orders to order items from your suppliers. Purchase orders can be created as follows. Navigate to File, Inventory, Purchase Orders. Select the desired supplier from the Supplier tab. The Items tab allows you to select items as follows. Items can be scanned in using a barcode scanner if labels are available, added manually by clicking on the Frames button and selecting the desired items. Individual orders can be added using the order number field, or the Auto Create button can be used to automatically create a PO based on the following: suppliers selected on a PO, frames sold with a source of order, or frames that reach their reorder point. Enter the desired date range, and then click on the Create button. Once finished, you can then click on the Create PO button to create and print the purchase order. The receiving feature of the inventory module allows you to update the inventory records once the PO request has been met by navigating to File, Inventory, Transactions, Receiving. Click on the Select PO button and select the desired purchase order. Enter the quantity received in the Receive column for the items respectively. Note that if the item was not available from the supplier, enter the quantity ordered in the Canceled column to cancel the request. Note that items can also be scanned from the receiving window. If an open purchase order exists for the item, it will link the receiving transaction to the purchase order. This concludes our video tutorial. Thank you for watching, and please remember to visit us at Support Central where you can view additional videos.